Hey, what's up, guys? Do you hate reading? Me too. But don't worry about it, I got you this time, fam. Today we have from BBC: Does Silicon Valley have a sexism problem? Uber has found itself in the spotlight over a high-profile and public sexual harassment claim. Pedo. Taxi hailing app Uber has promised an urgent investigation into claims of workspace sexual harassment after a female engineer said misogyny was rife at the firm and women were quitting in droves. Susan Fowler, a software engineer, wrote a blog post about a very, very strange year at Uber. I think I've seen that. I just want to look at this. Oh, it was not. It was a link to another story and not a link to the blog post itself. You got me, BBC. You fake news. In it, she says her manager tried to have sex with her on her first official day at work, sending her messages about his open relationship. Sounds nice. Just the latest blow for a company that has gained a reputation as a bastion of Silicon Valley's macho bro culture. I love how bros and scare quotes there. Um, yeah, it's weird how a manager tried to have sex with her on her first official day at work, and that's like a problem for the company and not a problem for just like that dude. My dude, but is Uber really any more sexist than other tech giants in the valley? Oh, who's this? Oh, Ellen Pao, Reddit CEO. Former Reddit CEO Ellen Pao tweeted a message of support after Miss Fowler's story was published. Oh, another victim of misogyny in the tech world. Alright, let's see how it impacted my job. Fowler's claims have resonated with many women in the tech world, and surveys suggest her experiences are not uncommon. According to a 2016 survey, 60% of women working in Silicon Valley experience unwanted sexual advances. Basically rape. And unwanted sexual advances. Almost 40% of those who said they were harassed at work did not report the situation, fearing it would damage their careers. Because, yeah, that's usually how it works, right? I was propositioned by a hiring manager early in my career when I was a job candidate, one contributor to the study wrote. He clearly indicated that if I slept with him, he would make sure I was promoted as his second in command as he moved up the ladder in the company. Okay. But these are all very anecdotal. But I mean, I'm going to give the BBC, a lot of people's tax money goes to this. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And we're going to want to see. So the study followed a high-profile gender discrimination lawsuit in 2015 from former Reddit CEO Ellen Pao, one of those praising Miss Fowler's stand against Uber. On Twitter, Ms. Pao said Miss Fowler's blog post shows the state of tech in one woman's story, and also the story of many women, many people at many companies. I'm sorry, I told you I had this one, fam. I'm kinda fucking this up. Discrimination is difficult to quantify, especially when victims are unwilling to speak out, you think? Yet on top of Miss Powell's case, there have been several high-profile lawsuits and sudden exits in the tech world in recent years. 2014 former Tinder executive Whitney Wolf sued the dating app, claiming she was called a slut and a whore by Tinder marketing chief Justin Mateen, and denied her rightful title of co-founder because she was a woman. She received a settlement worth $1 million. She's a slut and a whore in the Tinder app. That's fucking funny. Oh, you make an app for trashy people to have anonymous sex and you're called a whore? That's sad. Tom Preston Werner, founder of social coding site GitHub, notorious misogynist, resigned in 2014 after a sexual harassment investigation. No legal wrongdoing was found, but the company said there had been evidence of mistakes and errors of judgment. Kelly Ellis, a software engineer at Google for more than 4 years, leveled shocking allegations of harassment against the company on Twitter. Always on Twitter, where you have to come to report your years of sexual harassment on Twitter in 2015, saying senior colleagues had made unprofessional comments about her appearance. Those allegedly included one superior telling her during a company trip to Maui that it was taking all of his self-control not to grab her. Hot. How does tech compare to other industries? Comparing results from different studies with different questions can be problematic, but there are some hints that Silicon Valley has a problem. Alright, let's look at these. Statistics on sexual harassment vary widely, but an extensive 1992 U.S. national study, because Silicon Valley was so huge in 1992, U.S. national study found that 41% of women had experienced it, and about 40 to 50% of women in the EU, according to the United Nations. Silicon Valley was a thing back then. I'm not saying it wasn't. It's like compared to what it is today, 1992 is not really. Both estimates are still lower than Silicon Valley's survey's 60%. When is that from? 2016. 2016 Women in the Workplace Study, a major U.S. national survey, found that 19% of the technology sector's top executives are women, broadly in line with sectors like banking, media, or professional services. The same study found that across all industries, 30% of women who negotiated for a promotion or a better salary were told they were bossy, aggressive, or intimidating. Oh, fuck you guys. We fucked up. You're calling these women bossy? That's a squashing word. A bad word, bossy. The elephant in the Valley survey that rocketed it. I think we should ban bossy. That's what I think. I'm sick of that word. I'm sick of what it does to young women. Ban it. Ban bossy. The elephant in the Valley survey that rocketed at 84% of women being told they were aggressive. Though the question was not specifically about negotiation. They're sexually aggressive. What's being done for gender balance? What is being done for gender balance, guys? The world's biggest tech companies know that they're dominated by white men, and many are funding schemes to address that. In its annual diversity and inclusion report, Apple said that it had closed pay gaps over the past year by analyzing salaries, bonuses, and stock grants. Facebook has pledged to give $15 million to Code.org, a nonprofit group teaching young women and underrepresented minorities how to write computer code. 31 to 33% of the 3 biggest tech brands' employees are female. But what about their actual technical staff? Yeah, and it's just saying women don't do as much technology. Okay, and in 2015, Google told USA Today it would invest $150 fucking million in workforce diversity initiatives that year, up from $115 million in 2014. That's a lot of fucking money, shit. At the moment, 23% of Apple's tech employees are women. At Google, it's 19%, And at Facebook, just 17%. That's fucking disgusting. Fucking sick. Change comes slowly in companies of this size. The path could be a long one. But by broadening the pool of people qualified to work there, Silicon Valley is hoping to change the status quo. Lightning crash. Dun dun dun. Cool. Ellen Powell faces $1 million legal bill in sexism case. Yeah, they don't mention that part when she's up here tweeting her support for idiots like her. Alright. Chairman Powell, we love you. Raise kick.